Good morning. Hi guys. Why is my chat not showing YouTube? Hang on. I don't know why it's not showing YouTube chats. But oh my god, I cannot read it. Sorry. Sadly can't stay but have a good stream. Thanks, Didi. Have a good day. Thanks for popping in. Also, hi boss and disappoint whatever your name is. I'm sorry, I cannot read it. I'm listening to a random playlist that I put together with a bunch of different art on it, and it is shuffled, so I'm not positive what we were just listening to. Hang on, recently played. We were just listening to music from oh geez, what's it called? Kingdom Two Crowns. I believe the song we we're just listening to is called Bushi, B-U-S-H-I. Bushi? And this is Ruin Seeker from Tunic. Anyway, I need to like restart this, I think, to get YouTube chat to work. So let me try that really quick. I'm just double checking that YouTube hasn't like not connected or something. I don't know. Platforms. I don't know how to check this. Which I mean, see YouTube on here, so I don't know where this is at. Oh man. I followed a tutorial to set this up, and it was really easy, but now I can't remember how to do it. I want that. I'm trying again. Yeah, it's not even showing YouTube on here. I think that it got disconnected somehow, and I don't understand how or why. I'm gonna close the whole thing. Maybe it connects when it starts up and it just failed to connect. YouTube does it all the time for me on stream. Sometimes I will start the stream and it just doesn't connect to YouTube. Now I'm missing everyone's chat, just so you know. Good song taste, thanks. You just pronounced it as disappoint. Sorry, I can't. I'm just looking at my screen, like what I'm seeing on stream, and it's yellow against brown, as you can see it, but it's really small for me. I only see it like a quarter of my monitor, so it's really hard to tell what it actually says. Disappoint. You just pronounce it disappoint. Oh, maybe it is an N. You're telling me to pronounce it as disappoint. Sorry, I got it now. My bad. Okay, let me double check this now that it's back open. I still don't see them at YouTube. That sucks. Damn it, it's the whole point of using this thing. I mean, I can just open the YouTube chat separate, like I usually do, but... Man, why is it not working? YouTube. Oh, wait. Here we go. not signed in. Oh, gotta do it over here. Sometimes having 3 monitors is a curse. Okay, I think it's working now. If someone from YouTube would like to say something, that would be cool. I might have to reopen chat, actually. Yep, now it's working. Eesh, that was annoying. Oh, okay. All right, that should be fixed. Anyway, hi everyone. Sorry. Good morning, and hope everyone's having a good day. Yes, Square Peg Makes Games. Thank you for letting me know that this works, and hi. I still don't see previous messages, but yes. Welcome in. We're gonna do some more modeling today. Uh-oh. That's fine. For Arcane Toy Box, because that's just what I want to work on right now. And we're drinking a new blackberry cucumber LaCroix. It's better than I was expecting. It's good. In case you were wondering what I was drinking, you know, for some reason. What? Oh, there it goes. We're going to be flickering for a second, probably. Sorry about that. Lots of flickering going on. Let's go to medium. Hopefully still lots of flickering. Okay. We'll go to low. What if we just turn up shadows? No. What if we just turn up post-processing? Nope. Eesh. We really need to fix this. I've Googled like 100 times. I cannot figure it out. I've swapped cables. I've tried everything. I've unhooked and put my camera in like 4 times since then, just because I've had to use it for other things. I really think it's Streamlabs, and I have no idea how to fix it. Quick question, am I wrong, or there was a plan to update the character creation UI in Swords Magic stuff? I have not had a plan to update character creation UI in a long time. I may have talked about it at one point and wanting to do it, but it's probably just was like so low priority that it just I never did it. There's literally 0 plans on the table to do it at this point though. I don't think there's any reason to. It's fine as it is. I did talk about how I wanted to split the like head accessories from the character's like built-in jaw, but then I had to go model a bunch of extra accessories, and I don't have the time or resources to do that right now. Excuse me. So I probably won't be doing it. The problem is that the fawn, for example, has horns, and then the orc has a jaw, but the there's like certain like masks or whatever that hide the jaw, and the jaw is like just a head accessory, and so are the horns for the fawn. And so because of that, like when you put on like a mask, like a bandit mask, whatever, that just goes around the bottom of your face, it has to hide the jaw, which has to hide the head. So it has to hide the head accessory, which also then hides the fawn's horns, even though it shouldn't be hiding those. So yeah, there's like a whole thing around that, and I could probably go in and like code some like extra thing to like just not hide that one when that one thing is equipped, but that's like extra spaghetti code for no reason. So ideally, if I had the time and resources, I would just go in and like separate them so you could customize your like fawn horns. We could make like three or 4 different like versions of those horns, and then the jaw would just be like a separate thing that just gets turned on and off. And then you could also change your orc's horns too, and then they could be a separate thing as well. But then I have to go in and build a whole thing onto all of the helmets and stuff and determine if they should turn off head accessories or just the orc's jaw or whatever. So there's like a whole thing that's involved with it, and it's not worth the effort right now. Yeah, Swords and Magic is sort of, we have plans. There are definitely plans on the table for it. They are not for that specifically, but to like get to 1.0. But they're not a priority right now. We're prioritizing things that feed the family and that keep me sane. But we have stuff in the works. I'm sure once Seeking Adventure launches. Sorry, music's a little loud still. We'll be focused back on Swords and Magic for a little while to get it finished up. Anyway, before we work on the modular weapon stuff, which I definitely want to do today, I want to knock out a couple more things that I was thinking about. I think I want to do like a little crate that holds like some ingots, and then maybe another one with some ore, and then we'll make the ingots separate pieces too, so people can use them how they want. So we're gonna make those first. Let's add these to a group over here, a layer. We're gonna call this L underscore weapon kit. Make it red for fun. Hide it. And then I'm gonna need to duplicate that actually. Let's just move over here. I just want this as like reference for like shapes and stuff. That was pretty good, right? We could even maybe go a little bigger. Oops. Sure. And let's just do a simple double on it. That's it. Let's make 3 versions of it though. Actually, hold on. Let's just UV the one version first. Really don't want to like change up the color on this one, but let's go dull. This will just be iron first. We'll do a bunch of variations though. Maybe I actually do want to do a little bit of a gradient on it. Nice. Maybe not that much. Maybe go a little more subtle with it. Cool. Now I just make a variation, grab this shell, and we go shiny with it. And let's make copper. We'll do shiny for copper too. We'll do gold. Let's do like a steel. I figure the more variations we have, like the more cool the pack is. We'll do like a red one. Let's like actually make this a little more red. Let's just do like a purple. Should we do a blue one or like in a green one? Yeah, why not? Cool. That's a lot of different variations. Okay. Now we need to do some ore. I'm kind of thinking we just do like a cube. And we'll do like a mesh smooth on it. It doesn't do anything. Does it? Nope. Okay. We do 2. Then we're going to turn on symmetry. We're just kind of moving stuff around. Okay. There's our base shape. Now I'm going to do like some like crystals or gems coming out of it kind of. So we're going to do like something like this. And then we'll bevel that. Oh, sorry, missing chat. Summon, hi, good day. Liony, hello, welcome in. Still working on the acid pack? Yeah, I didn't work on the last couple days, or the weekend. Yesterday I was working on the YouTube stuff pretty much entirely. We have a sponsored video coming out tomorrow. And then that's kicking off a new weekly upload schedule that I'm going to do my very best to try to keep up with, which means we have another video that I've just almost finished editing yesterday. It's almost done. And then that'll come out next, I think tomorrow's Wednesday. So I think we're just going to try to stick with like a Wednesday upload schedule, and maybe that works out. Who knows? I might shift that day around. We'll see. But yeah, we're going to try to like be uploading every single Wednesday. So I'm really hoping everyone likes the video tomorrow, because it's a totally different thing. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Hey, what's on the plan today? Mostly just working on Arcane Toy Box stuff for fun and to get some new acid packs out there. And then we might be going into Unreal and doing a little bit of level design if I feel up to it, but we'll see what happens with that. Who knows? I think that'll look okay. If we just do like some of these just like kind of sticking out of it in bunch of different locations. I think so. we're gonna make the whole thing, I think, and then we will do the UVs on it, and that should be easy to move them. Actually, let's not. Let's do the UVs first. I kind of want to make this a little bigger, actually. Maybe we do our bevel a little smaller. Just so it's a little sharper. Okay. Oh, we should make a coal one. That was pretty good. Okay, and then let's move our pivot point down to like under here a little bit, and then when we snap it onto the thing, we can have a little more control. And I kind of want to do this. We like duplicate this, and we just kind of like rotate this. Sort of just like have like a cluster. Like that maybe. We'll just scale it down a little bit. Cool. Okay, why not have the material of the object as a blank color and let the dev color it engine? I'll tell you why. I love the idea of that, but the problem is that that works really well on Unreal Engine. But if I want to sell these on like Itch or something, it works better if I just have all of them UV'd correctly. So ideally, if they really want to, they can just not like edit the UVs, and I think you can actually edit UVs in Unreal Engine now, can't you? Hang on, let's ask the pro. Never mind, you can't. You can view them, you can't change them. That would be so cool if you could move UV islands around. That would be a plugin that would make like low poly like games so much easier, because then you could just like customize, like duplicate your mesh and just move the thing around, and you would have to export and import and stuff like that. But no, I agree. I think making them all like white or whatever like this, and then people could just recolor it with a material would be great. And people can still technically do that. They'll just have to use the white one or whatever and then recolor it. But if you're using an engine that doesn't let you do that, or an engine that like you don't, or if you don't know how to do that, because I'm going to sell them on Itch as well, that's where like the problems come in. And it's just not worth like, yeah, I don't think it's worth, I don't know. We did that with a couple things like with skin color and stuff like that in, on our characters. And then when I put it on Itch, I was like, oh shoot, now I have to make sure that I have like instructions on how people can set up the skin color. Otherwise, when they bring it in, it's not going to have a color, and they're going to be confused. And I think a lot of people who buy assets on Itch are new to game dev. So I want to just make sure it's as easy as possible and they're not confused by any of the processes. Because I don't want negative reviews for something dumb, you know? Let's make these kind of a dirty brown color, I guess. Kind of thinking somewhere in here. Should we do gray? Yeah, let's do that color. Kind of like just like a stone. Kind of tempted to go over here. Need like more of a middle ground between brown and gray, don't I? I guess we're close, but that's okay. Okay, now let's move these on here. So let's just make this move these out to the side, and we'll put this back in the center. And let's just make this a live surface for now. And we'll just duplicate these and snap them on. I want those like jutting out like that or not. But yeah, if I were making my own game out of these, that's exactly what I would do. 100%. Unreal Engine can definitely do that. Is this gonna look stupid? Should we have just made this like a rounded rock that's been broken open with like a almost like a geode with like gems coming out of it? I wonder if we should do that instead. Because I feel like if we just do this all the way around, it's gonna look a little wild. So what if we just take this and we go yoink? Oh, it looks like we had a weird edge there anyway that I don't know how we messed up. Did I not do that again? Okay, whatever. I kind of like that. What do you guys think for ore? I know it definitely looks like more like a geode or like a crystal or something, but I think it's kind of fun. We could do both, I guess. Cheap viewers? Oh man. I was just thinking about how we needed some cheap viewers. Yoink. No, I prefer my really expensive viewers. Was anyone here on my stream on Thursday by chance? Because when I went to start the stream today, I realized that I saw a raid from Odd Oculus from Thursday, and I do not remember being raided by him, and it was like 42 people, and I don't remember if I ever even acknowledged it or said hi or anything, or I'm wondering if it happened like right when I was ending the stream or something. I'm an average expensive viewer, yeah. What about removing the square and only using the crystals next to each other? We could do that. We could do all of it. Just like this. I just think that maybe just like, you mean like just like that was just like jutting out of the ground? Or is like a full 3D model? I'm fine with doing that. I think we could maybe rearrange it a little bit more if we're gonna make this like something that just like sticks out of the ground. Something like that, maybe one more over here. I literally have crystals in another pack too that like look almost just like this. And this is just meant to be like for ore, but like I guess it would be cool to have like some. I don't know. I kind of like the idea that like devs can just kind of like stylize their ore however they want. So like we could do all of these. I like the Geode one. Yeah, I remember the raid. You do remember the raid? Did I say something about it? There's a lot of people. I don't remember him raiding. And it's funny because Jana actually asked how he was doing the other day because I haven't talked to him in a while. And I was like, I don't know, I haven't heard from him. So I don't know how I missed that raid. You thought I did? I feel like I would have, but I remember having like a smaller raid, and I saw that one on there from Neris X. I do remember that raid, and I remember like showing off the assets and stuff and like talking about it, but I don't know. Okay, so this one I'm not 100% sold on. I think maybe if we put them all the way around, it would look kind of cool, and maybe it's fine. Let's keep doing this one and like make this one look good, and then we'll just use all three of them. And we can even put these ones in there as separate pieces if we want to. It's just more stuff. Why not, right? The more stuff, the better. The more modular it is, I think the better it is. But I like the Geode one. I think that's like, if I was gonna use like an ore, like you mined something and then ore popped out of it, I think I'd use that one. Honestly, what if we make like a big ore node too? And like a pickaxe. Maybe we'll make like modular pickaxes too. And this could just be like a whole like blacksmith kit. Like you can just do everything you need with. Like you can like build a whole game with this. Like go mining, I guess we wouldn't have trees for chopping. We could make some logs, I guess. But I don't want to add trees to this kit. I feel like I want to do like a whole nature kit eventually. You can like buy a whole environment kit, like to match it. Okay, let's do this. Let's make this something like that maybe. This would be easier if we just didn't use this. I guess it's kind of neat. I don't know. Maybe we need some on like the diagonals to switch it up a little bit. One over here maybe. This might be a bit too much, but I think it's fine. Let's just call it. Okay. I like all these. Now we just duplicate them for all these other colors. How many is that? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a lot. Oh, we need one more. Because we have a coal. The first one's coal. Okay, this one all stays the same. It's just this one down here we need to move. And this should be pretty easy to move because we're just going to do this. So first we have our gray, which should match that first one. Let's move these around so we... I don't think we need a coal ingot, right? Like that, I don't think that's not something we need. Yeah, looks close enough. Like a stone of crystals, I meant. I thought you did. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Uh-oh. I'll have to message him and be like, did I notice your raid? Like, like a stone of crystals you meant. I don't know. I guess I don't know what you mean by that. I like it, but I would use less rock, maybe, or make the point things bigger. For this one? Sorry, I'm not even listening to feedback for some reason, even that's the whole point of streaming this. You think like less rock like this? I don't know. That doesn't feel like ore to me. That feels like a what am I thinking of? Like that, like a gobstopper, like a. Reminds me of like a candy, not an actual candy, but like something like from like Willy Wonka or something, from like a cartoon or something. I don't know. I feel like I've seen like something that looks like that. I think like with ore, it's mostly rock because that's why you have to refine it. Like it's mostly rock and there's just like flecks of ore in it usually. And like we really over stylize it in video games and make like a lot more ore in it than there actually would be. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think these are just the pieces that you would like, that would like fall out of something you mined. I don't know. I think they're fine. I think it's fine how it is. Let me catch up. Keep in mind that unless you make super specific packs, you should make a whole bunch of them that can be used together. Increases your chance of people buying the packs. Oh yeah, 100%. They are going to be specific packs, but I'm going to be making a whole bunch of them. Like this is going to be all blacksmithing and like weapons. And I have a whole like fantasy like assets kit too that just has like a bunch of random props together. But I'm planning on doing like more enemies, or I need to do some enemies. That's like a big one that my packs are definitely missing. So maybe we'll do enemies together on stream sometime. I need to get my tablet hooked up so I can use Nomad Sculpt and stream it. That would be pretty cool. Though I'm still pretty rusty with this, so I'm still learning it. But yeah, Willy Wonka Everlasting Gobstopper, right? Isn't that what it looks like? Yes, exactly. Yes. Hang on, sorry. This one. Right? That's what it's starting to look like. It looks like you can actually buy those on Etsy. I don't know if they're actually edible. I don't think they're edible. I want them to be, though. Okay, and then this one was the silver, and we made this one shiny, right? Yep. Close enough. This one's also shiny. The rest of these are all shiny. We just made the one iron dull for some reason. That's fine, though, I guess. We're skipping that song. Blue one. See, we did this in such an easy way. It's nice. Those are too bright. Nice. That adds like so many pieces to the pack too. Like I know it's kind of like scummy to say like, oh, there's 200 like meshes in here, but these are technically unique. Well, I guess they're not unique meshes, but like whatever they are. I don't know. I guess they are because they have different UVs, right? I don't know if that counts as a unique mesh, but still, it still adds a bunch of variety to the pack, which is cool. We're gonna have to put all these together into groups and then export them all, which is gonna be a huge pain. This is gonna be a lot to export. I think we'll probably do them. We'll cluster them all into one group and then just export it as like col or like or_col 01, 02, 03, 04, whatever. We still have to name them all, which sucks. Anyway, let's save that. Okay, so there's our ingots and our ore. Let's do some crates for the ingots. Let's duplicate this. Let's grab all these and put them in a layer. Ore. I want to do some pretty simple. Right, then we put that in a crate. Let's borrow some pieces of wood from this thing, this table. It'll be much easier rather than having to do it all over or do all these pieces all over again. Okay, let's get rid of this and this. This kind of sucks. Uh-oh. It was actually a bad idea, probably, because it has to be so small. Yeah, it looks fine. Oh no, I knew I was gonna do that. Where's it supposed to go? Okay, we screwed this up. That's not worth it. Never mind, we'll use these. Sometimes shortcuts are worth taking, and sometimes they are not. How do we want to do this? I think we need, like, the end pieces, I think will be like a solid piece. Like this. And then maybe we bevel these edges a little bit. Not that much. What? Oh. Like that. And then we grab another cube. And we bevel these edges. Boolean cut that. Sure. Oh, let's delete history. What? You can just do this now? This is a new thing? This is new. I delete this history. What? How do you like merge it? I don't get it. Oh, it's like it already is. We just have these pieces. No, wait. What? Yeah. Okay, I get it. That's cool. Okay, sorry. I didn't need all that. We didn't need to keep it though. We should do object X. Y? Oh, that's X. Fine, whatever. Why is it not cutting? Oh my god. Keep hitting H. That's better. Okay. We definitely need these two. There's some weird shading issues. I don't know if there's a way to fix that without just adding more geometry. Probably fine. Yeah, let's just not worry about it. Wait, why are there two things? What? Oh, I'm so dumb. I just realized when I was trying to delete history earlier, just skimmed through the VOD, you briefly said hi to Odd, but never mentioned the raid. Oh man, I feel so bad now. I don't know how I missed the raid. That sucks. Thank you for that. Thanks for double checking on me. Anyway, I realized that earlier when I was doing this, I was hitting hierarchy, not history. So that would explain why the Boolean thing was not working. What is this? Why do I have two pivot points? Do I have this like merged to like two different pieces? No, that wouldn't make sense anyway. Is this a bug? This can't be like a thing. How could I possibly have two pivot points? Should be a little bit closer together. Cool. All right. So now before I duplicate this one across, I want to add some cuts into it. Make sure it looks like wood. Also save the work. That didn't get snapped in where it's supposed to be, but it's okay. It'll fix it, I think. There we go. Yeah, looks good. Should we do one on this? And if we do, where should we do it? I guess we won't. Let's leave it alone. There we go. That box took way too long to make. This is Maya. Autodesk Maya. It is expensive. You can do all this same stuff in Blender. But you have to memorize a lot more hotkeys. I guess you don't have to, but I don't know. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do an empty crate and then yeah, maybe I'm not gonna merge the pieces with it. I'll let devs do that themselves. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I really love Maya. Actually, we should do this separately. We should do these pieces. I learned it in school. Because I went to school for game art and animation. And so I learned Maya in school, and I really, really love it. So I've just been using it ever since. But luckily, I make the money to justify buying every year. And also, when I was making lots more money, or like when I made lots more money one time when I sold my game, I had to pay for the like $1,000 license, but I was making so much money at the time it was like, well, yeah, this checks out. I have to pay a bunch of money to, you know, because I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of assets, probably like, you know, thousands of assets for my game. So it made sense that I paid Maya a whole bunch of money at the time for the services, you know, whatever, for the software I used. But now I don't make that much money anymore. Not even close to that, and so I don't have to pay all the money anymore because now I can use their indie license, which is only $300 a year, I think, somewhere in that $250, $300 something. And $250, $300 a year is worth it for me because I really like the software and it's just so easy to use, and I'm so much faster with it than I've tried Blender several times, and I cannot get behind it. I just every time I even tried Blender for sculpting recently, and I like it better for sculpting. It's nowhere near as good as ZBrush, but it's like close. It's close. That looks absolutely great. Thank you, push button. But yeah, I like Maya a lot. What good is a pack if it covers only 1/3 of the stuff I need? I wouldn't have bought Cinti packs if there weren't so many of them. Yeah, that's true. But that's like the thing, right? Is like I agree, and I'm building up a library of like packs for people to buy, and my packs are affordable. So the idea is I make a bunch of smaller packs with a whole bunch of different things, and then people buy and mix and match the things they want and need, rather than buying like a $150 pack with like thousands of pieces in it. I mean, I'm sure eventually I'll just grab all my packs and put them into one big huge bundle or whatever, and sell them in like a big one bundle thing. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think I need to put them all in like gigantic packs with hundreds of assets, because then you're not gonna need all those things, and so then you're spending money on stuff that you're not going to use. So the plan is to make a whole bunch of little packs in the same style, so when you see one you like, you're like, oh, that's cool. Do they have any other ones though? Because I also need these things. And you go to my page and go, oh my god, this guy's got 50 different packs of like all kinds of different stuff, and that's the plan. I also, because we're doing like the toy like sort of vibe, I'm also kind of planning on basically we're kind of like leaning into like the, not FOMO, but like the collectathon kind of thing, we should UV this one more time just so it's done the right way. This one should be like this, right? No, is that right? No. 0? Nope. That one's 90. This one's 0. Nope. This one's 0. This one's 90. Jesus Christ. What? I don't know which one it's supposed to be. 90, 90? Why does my brain not work? Rotate Y should be 90. And then rotate X should be 0. No. Why is this not working? I've tried every single combination. Have I not? I need to rotate in Z, but when I do Z, it doesn't work. Pretty sure I can rotate this manually, but I always forget how. It's not changing anything. Confused. We're not changing the projection? Yeah, we are. Let's not change the projection. I don't know, man. Why is this being stupid? I got it. Sorry. This one. I don't think I want these stretched as much as it seems like I do. Good enough. Okay, cool. We have a crate. Okay, we have a crate for ore and a crate for ingots now. I don't know if we'll be able to fit the ore in it, but it's fine. It might be nice to be able to put them in there, but then, like, if people don't like this, the ore I picked to go in there, yeah, it's fine. People can do it themselves. That looks absolutely great. Thank you. Read that one already. I guess if your pack doesn't contain everything anyone could ever need, it might might encourage people to track you down and commission some work from you too. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I also have in the Discord, I literally have spots in there where people can request assets and stuff too. Like there's an ideas section or whatever. So yeah, people can definitely. Let's flip this one around. People should be able to get the stuff they need eventually. Okay, let's export this one. And then I think should we do the pickaxe? Should we do the ore nodes? I kind of feel like a mining one might be a whole separate pack. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to do like a mining one with like a whole cave set. Well, I kind of understand what you were just doing there. Oh, I came up with this right here. This is called oh god, what's it called? A texture atlas, and I made it. I actually just made it on stream like last week. And how it works is basically I was using another one that was a little more complex, but also it didn't have as many it wasn't quite as fancy. When you're doing 3D modeling, when you want to like color something, basically how it works is you unwrap that 3D model, like all the pieces, like you would like a t-shirt, right? So I have a seam right here on my t-shirt, right? It goes right here and then it cuts here. And then I have a seam on the inside, my armpit, whatever, here, right? There's a seam there. And if you like cut across all those seams and you laid out your t-shirt flat on the ground or whatever, it'd be flat, right? It'd be a flat piece of fabric, right? So you're doing the exact same thing with a 3D model. So if I have a cube, for example, here's just our cube, and I lay it out, here's our UVs, right? This is each side of this is a different side of this cube, right? And you can see where it's representing. So this is just showing, this is the UV editor, and UV, I don't know what it stands for, honestly. I don't think it stands for anything. I don't know why they called it UV, but Anyway, so yeah, like all these faces are just a different piece on this cube. So if I colored each face differently, like if I took this into like Photoshop and painted on it, you know, and like put smiley face or whatever, you'd see that represent on the cube. And that's how we do 3D modeling, or 3D, that's how you do texturing on 3D models. So if you're making simplified, like pretty simple art, and you don't need to do hand painted textures on every single thing you do, you don't need to necessarily go in and paint all of them. You can use one texture with all the colors you want on it, and then you just move these pieces around, because I can grab these and move them wherever I want, right? So that's all we're doing here. So if I apply that material, boom, there's our material on here, and you can see how it's working, right? It's all these faces are wherever they need to be. So then I can go in and I can say like, well, I just want to make this one a separate piece, so I can kind of flatten this out. Oh, hold on, let's do that again. And I can make this like scale it way down and make it blue. Right, so there's our blue one. I grab this one and make it, and scale it down and make it like pink, right? But the thing is, like, I wanted to be able to do like gradients between two different colors, so I can have like the bottom of my piece like kind of darker and then fade into like a lighter color or whatever. So I can do like a sword that like fades between two colors or whatever. So what I did is I made a gradient on my picture, so I don't just have like all the colors I need, but I also have all the different like tones of those colors that I want. So I can grab this and just stretch it, and then the like actual texture actually stretches across these. So now I have this, right? So that's all it is. UV is two-dimensional texture coordinates. Not sure why the other's UV. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. And I literally have a degree in 3D art. And I did this for 4 years and have a bachelor's degree in it, and I still don't know what UV stands for. It doesn't matter. I don't think anyone's ever said what it actually stands. It probably doesn't stand for anything. Like I said, it probably doesn't stand for anything. It's probably just how they decided to map these coordinates, because we have XYZ in the 3D space, and then the UV space is like a different kind of space. So it's like just two dimensionals. So they probably just picked the different, like, it's probably actually like just, I don't know why they did it. But it's probably just two more letters they just picked to go next to like X, Y, and Z. It's like, why do they pick X, Y, and Z? Who knows? They don't stand for anything either. Anyway, hopefully that makes more sense now. Push button, so it doesn't look like I was just experimenting with illegal drugs. I was actually, there's a purpose here. So I know it's kind of crazy looking, but I have like all of the colors I need on here to make the textures I want. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. What are you laughing at?
Just come in and you're talking about illegal drugs.
Oh.
Try to cover your head.
Someone said that they kind of understood what I was doing with this texture, Atlas. They're like, but it kind of looks like whoever made it was tripping on LSD. So I was like, let me explain, because I was not, and I made it. Anyway, the letters U, horizontal, and V, vertical, denote the axes of the 2D texture, because X, Y, Z are used to denote the axes of 3D space. Yep. Yeah, so pretty much exactly what I just said. I was pretty much correct. I think I probably looked it up a long time ago, because I wonder what they stood for. Because UV is also ultraviolet. Yeah. So anyway, that's how that works. So now you can see that all of our models in here, like this was kind of ugly because there's a bunch of collisions on it. All of these are mapped to their correct things. So you can see there's a bunch of gray stuff in here because I have a ton of stones. So all those are just mapped to different portions. And the nice thing about the gradient is that they can be smooth colors, but they can still have slight variations in gradients, and I can just stretch them out. Like all these wood pieces have like gradients across them. It's very mild. It's very subtle. But this one's like darker over here and then lighter as it comes out, and it just makes it look nice. In fact, here it is in Unreal Engine. If you don't mind my camera flickering like crazy, I will show it to you under nice lighting conditions. So there it is. And sorry about the camera doing stupid things. This is a fun thing I've been dealing with for a long time and I don't know how to fix yet. So there, it's fixed now. Told you, tripping on LSD. Yeah, but those naming conventions are very old too. What naming conventions are very old? U and V and XYZ. Anyway, let's call this done, I guess. We could put all those pieces in that we just made. What else? Is there anything else we should have in here? Like, what else does a blacksmith kit like need? Like, we have some tools. We have tongs we have tongs and a hammer, anvil, grindstone, barrels, a table. There's a torch, which I think I need to I need to retexture this torch. And 2 different barrels. And then we have the ingots and ore. I think we're good. I think that's it. And then we'll just do some weapons. All the weapon parts can be modular as well, which I'm excited about. Let's grab all of this. Let's make this a new layer as well, just so we can get rid of it in here. This is going to be forge collisions. You have to remember not to move those, or not to move that with all the rest of the stuff. I don't know why that camera's in there. And one more layer. I'm just trying to keep this clean because we're probably going to use this for quite a while. Character. And we might even use the same plate or same what am I trying to say? The same scene for modeling all of our stuff in the future. Who knows? Like all of our arcane toy box props. Okay. Let's turn our weapons back on. So the plan here is make a bunch of modular pieces that are all individual, or like individually usable. So like the player could like, or the developer could like make like a UI or something that like shows this in the center of the screen, like has like could be like rotated around or whatever. I'm also planning on making these. I'm kind of thinking I'm just gonna. Oh man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna make them all the different colors of ingot we just made. And I think I'll do the same thing with the blades. I also kind of think we should do like some like cool like jewels or gems or something we could like inset in the blades. I just want like a bunch of different variations and options so you can make like, I want literally like thousands and thousands of combinations. And I think we're already at 192 with just these pieces. I wonder if W just wasn't used because it's kind of a mouthful. And it might be confusing because it looks like 2 V's. So it might have just been a confusing thing, so they just skipped it. Or they just wanted some space, who knows. Good old PS1 games that created the techniques we still use 20 plus years later. Oh yeah, for sure. Probably even before that, to be honest. I think before PS1 there were still like there were some 3D games being made on like for like PC and stuff. So I think it's actually older. I think it's an actually older technique than that. VW might get confused with cars, I guess. True. Though UV is also a pretty common thing in like science, right? Like UV lights. So I was actually really surprised that I'm actually pretty surprised that that's what they chose as well. But it is what it is, and everyone knows what it is now. So like, whatever. I want to make some like a wrap for some the handles. I think. So let's grab this guy out of the way. Let's just solo this guy. And I'm going to duplicate it. Actually delete this and this. I might add them back in for now. I guess we'll just do that. And then let's just quickly UV it just so we can like kind of see what we're doing here. And let's just make it basic. Let's go like now let's do red. Okay. Okay, so here's like I guess I'll just make this a new handle, I guess. So let's duplicate this, grab this, merge them. Let's just make some color variations. Uh-oh. There we go. How many color variations do we need? Jeez. Let's do a green one. This is gonna be kind of like the problem with this kit is like, I want to do a bunch of variant color variations, but it's gonna end up with like, we're gonna have so many. Oh man, I think I missed my allergy medicine last night again. I'm getting really bad at remembering that. Sheaths and scabbards. I'm going to skip on that just because maybe, I don't know. The problem is I'm going to have so many different blades that I'll have to make a scabbard for every single one of them. And that would be a lot more. And I feel like it would bring our... Maybe, we'll see. I'll think about it. It's pretty rare that, like, especially a game like this, I feel like you'd want to just see the actual sword on your back. Like, if it was, like, a more realistic style, then maybe. I said game like this, but I mean, like, an art style like this. I feel like you probably wouldn't have it in a sheath on your back. Like, in Swords and Magic, in our game, we don't have sheaths. Like, it's just, you just see the weapon, like, on your back or on your hip or whatever. So I feel like, I don't know. We'll see. Let's do a couple more, I guess. Let's do a brown one. And then let's do like purple. I don't love this one. Okay. Now I want to do one that looks more like it's like wrapped. We'll start with this. How do we do this? Some of that maybe. We could like make it more legitimate, but I don't think it's a big deal since it's just a handle. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is. Another thing we need to think about is that I'm pretty sure like we're gonna have to do this variation on like all the different sizes as well. Oh man. Which means a lot more work. I mean, it's a lot of just duplicating and moving, but okay, let's just call this good. Merge it. Let's move it down a little bit. And maybe we'll just kind of scale it a little bit. We should have made this one go in. This one come out. I don't like it. Let's go back. Okay, that's fine. We should actually do this though. Okay, let's grab this. duplicate it, grab this one, merge. Kind of thinking we just do like this, maybe. Do you think you may use this pack in future projects? Me personally, maybe. I don't know. I don't really have any plans for it, but I might. I really do like this style a lot. So maybe. What's up, Curly? I'm 32 and tried to get into game dev since I was 18, but never quite got it. Now I watched a lot of you and got the motivation to jump in and finally chase my dream as a game dev. Thank you. You're welcome. Congrats on that. Yeah, I've been making games since I was 18, and it took me until I was about 26 before it started kind of clicking for me. And then I didn't launch Swords and Magic until 2020. So that was only 5 years ago. A little under 5 years ago. And yeah, so I was 32. So I'm 37 now. So yeah, you got plenty of time. That's when I launched my first game. So I mean, it took me from 18 to 32. So you're right there. That's the perfect time. Like, I think the biggest thing for me, I actually think I went to school for game art, and while I could have learned everything I learned in that school easily on my own, for me it was like kind of like having that sort of discipline and like learning the discipline to like have to, like, I had like assignments to turn in, and I was just enjoying it. So I was like, and there was also a little bit of like competitiveness for me. Like they how the school worked I went to is they had like almost every week we had like a showcase thing where the instructor would like showcase everyone's projects and grade them live in front of everyone. And because then you got like live critique and like you could like, you know, learn from that for the next week or whatever. And I absolutely love that because I would like do everything I could to make sure there was like nothing that the instructor could say wrong. And if he found something wrong, then I made sure I'd fix that for next week. And because of that, I got like much better at what I was doing. And I just had fun with it. Like I just loved doing it, which was the first thing I've ever found like in my life that I really, really love doing other than just making games. And so it's stupid, but when I went into school for it, I like had this thought in the back of my head thinking like, first of all, the Full Sail at the time gave you a laptop after your first, I think, 4 months. So in my brain, also, let me just clarify, I had a really terrible computer at the time and I needed a new computer, but I couldn't afford it. And Full Sail doesn't give you a laptop. This is not free. You pay for it. In fact, you pay way more money for that laptop through their whole like degree system or degree program than I would if I would have just bought it outright. And I think I'm almost positive I got a refurbished one. Like almost positive they do refurbished laptops because my battery fell apart after like 2 years. Anyway, so in my head the whole time I just kept thinking like, I'm probably going to quit after I get this laptop. I'm probably going to get the laptop and I'm just not going to go to school anymore. But the thing is that I somehow pushed through because I knew I was going to get that laptop and I was so excited about it, and a graphics tablet and a bunch of other cool stuff to do art with. And I was so excited about it that I just kept pushing through those 4 months. And then once I got through the 4 months, and those first four classes sucked. Like every month you get a new class and those ones sucked. It was like digital literacy and like art history and like college algebra or college geometry, or what was it? I took a physics class as well. I took a bunch of classes like that it just sucked. But those first four classes were just like your prerequisite classes, and they were awful and I hated them. But I made it through because I really wanted that laptop. And then I was like, well, I got the laptop. And then the next class was like game art basics or something. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll stick around for this one class because I get to do 3D art and it'll be kind of cool. And so I stuck around. And then pretty soon it was like, oh my God, I'm graduating next month. It was kind of crazy. And I always thought I was just kind of like mediocre in school. I knew I loved it, and I thought I was good, but I never thought I was like really good. And then I got a call from my like student advisor who was like, "Hey, you're in the running for valedictorian. So do you want to like you want me to reach out to your like instructors and find like extra stuff to get like boost your GPA?" And I was like, "What?" And I decided not to, because I was like, no, I'm not gonna go above and beyond and like try to do extra work and stuff, because I just don't think that, like, I don't know, I just didn't want to do that to like lock that in, because I just thought like I never really cared about valedictorian. And then I got valedictorian anyway, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, all this is just to say that like something clicked in my head that like I could actually finish something when I graduated school. And it was like so surprising to me, because my whole life I kind of been told like I was dumb and like I was lazy, because that's how I was in high school. Like I didn't care about homework. I understood what the teacher was saying. I just didn't care about doing the homework. So I never got the practice, and then I failed the test because I didn't study and I didn't do the homework. And so like I did really bad in high school and almost didn't graduate. And so I just thought I was stupid and lazy because I wouldn't do any of that stuff. And it's just because I hated it. I just didn't like learning that stuff, and it was stuff that I didn't care about. And to this day, I barely remember any of it. Like, I remember more math from my college math classes for sure now, but I honestly don't think I remember like anything from high school, like just the basics. And I loved English class, but I swear, like I thought I was really good at English, and I wrote like all these papers that I thought were really good. And then every single English teacher I had was like they just hated me or something. I don't know. But I always got like everything marked down, and I just did like much worse than I thought I did. And I loved it. Like, so I thought I was good at it, and I like was reading a lot, and like, I don't know. So I really thought I was good at it, but I don't know. Even that was like discouraging to me, because I really enjoyed it. But then I didn't enjoy it anymore when I got everything was like wrong. Everything I did was wrong. Anyway, but yeah, I think with game dev, it was like when I graduated college, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I finished something, and I was the best at it, like the very best out of everyone in that. Like I was the best. I got valedictorian. Something just like set me up, and it like made me realize that I was not a loser, and I was not a failure, and I was not stupid, and I was good at something, and I wasn't lazy. And like that like set me on like some path. So I think a big part of it is just like a mindset for me, especially, and maybe you're the same way, Curly, if you're still in here, or I'm just talking to myself, whatever. But yeah, I think it's a big part of it is a mindset and knowing you can finish it, and that really like gave me motivation to do it. And then when I started live streaming, right out of high school, or right out of college. I mean, I started live streaming the development of Swords and Magic. And at the time I was just kind of like learning Unreal Engine, and I was not really like trying to make anything crazy. And then it just kind of started like snowballing. Like it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then I started getting more and more followers, and I was like, well, I can't stop now. Like I have to keep making this game because people are excited about it and they want to play it. And then I did like a play test, and it was like a 4-player split screen at the first. And I had like a bunch of family over, and I got to show off all of this art that I'd made that I like actually like, you know, went to school for. And I was like, had built like this whole world, and it was a pretty decent sized like world to go run around and play in. And when everyone sat down, we were all playing co-op together in front of the TV, and I was just watching them explore and discover the things I'd made. That was like, man, it was like, that was like my drug, you know what I mean? Like I saw them all like playing and exploring, and like they're like, oh, I found this thing. Do you guys have a quest for this thing? And they're like, yeah, like there's a girl over here you have to turn it into. And then they like grouped up and went and turned that quest in. And I was just like, this is it. This is what I'm doing the rest of my life. I don't care like what it takes. I will be doing this forever. And I absolutely love that feeling of like watching people play your game, and enjoy it. And it's kind of difficult because if your game doesn't like take off enough, you don't really get anyone making like content about it, and then that can be really discouraging. Which happened to me a lot with like game jams and stuff, because like I'd make a game and launch it and be so excited about it, but then I'd never see anyone play it. So it was just kind of like, okay, it's just out there in the void now, and I'm the only person that enjoyed it. Even if it has, 5,000 downloads, I have no idea if people enjoyed it or not. And a lot of people don't leave reviews or feedback or whatever, so it's like you never know if someone actually enjoyed it. So that kind of sucks. But if you can find people like to play your game, or if your game does well enough that you can see streamers and YouTubers and stuff like that play it, that is like a game changer for me, and that kept me going for sure. But Yeah, find accountability. That's the big one. Like once I had people like who were like, you know, waiting for me to like finish things or like release things, that's what like changed everything for me, I think. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool like making something and just seeing people work on it. Love the story, and yeah, you can do it. The games you have made look so amazing. Good job to you, sir. Thank you. And good job to you for sticking with your goals. It's not as hard as everyone says it is. Like, it's a lot of work, but like if you enjoy doing it, it's really not that bad. And it's very, very much doable. Where was this one? Let's just go like here, I guess. No, that one looks bad. Sure. This one's green. I'm pretty sure we did this one. These don't need to be exactly the same, but oh, we did not use that one. You know what? I like that one better though. More naturey. This is like a gray. I want to solo all these. Oh, I already did that one. Whoops. I'll do this one. Messed that up. Okay, cool. All right, we have those ones. Now we got to figure out how to do that on this one, though. Let's grab these. We gotta make. Oh my god, there's gonna be so many variations. This is gonna be absolutely nuts. But that's okay. Once we have these handles done, it'll be worth it. All right, these are all on. Why does this look weird? Whatever. Okay, so we'll do this one next. I'm gonna grab all of these actually. I'm gonna leave them all laid out first, and then we're gonna grab. Oh man, I don't want to lay them all out because it's kind of stupid. But we're gonna grab all of them and make them all. Like there, maybe. all of these are going to get moved to a new layer. Save. Oops. Okay. Now I can get rid of all of our weapon kit. Or let's show our weapon kit and hide our handles and make sure we're not missing any. We just have the basic one and delete that. Okay. We should get rid of that. Okay. Okay, that one's fine, and we're gonna put another one here. And this one's going to be. Let's undo this one, delete that guy, merge this guy. These guys need to be modified. Okay, let's grab all these, merge them. This whole thing needs to be scaled. I don't know how I did this. Like, how are these different sizes? But oh no, there's a mid-size one too. Damn it. We should probably do it though. It's gonna be a lot. We're gonna have so many variations. It's fine, let's put this one over here. Okay, is that all of them though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, and then we need another one. Down here, it's going to be this variation. I want to do a gap on this one. Or maybe we just do like another one of these on the bottom. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now we merge these guys, and we just need to do some UV or some tweaking. Looks pretty good. man, I have to grab this one and this one and this one. That's fine. This will be easy, actually. Nope. UV shells. Uh-oh. Why is this happening? Should just be grabbing the shells. Oh, because I have soft select on. Got it. Derp. We just go like right here. I feel kind of bad that these are not like, there's no variation in these. But no, it's okay, because it's like one material that's like wrapped or whatever. It's fine. I also feel like we should have had some like darker and lighter wood variations. I guess we could still do that with just like the empty ones, not these ones. But it would have been nice to have like a darker wood against like a lighter material or whatever. Anyway. As I said to myself now, I have a full-time job and a family. Game dev is a fun hobby, and I love and if it gets to be my full-time job someday, I'd be super happy. But it's not. If not, it's a fun hobby I love. Yeah. So I did the same thing. Luckily, I got really lucky. Because my wife had a better job than I did. She got promoted long before I did. We both worked at Walmart, but I worked at a different store and I was doing loss prevention. So I was doing like undercover, like shoplifting, like shoplifter catching stuff. I don't know. I watched people shoplift and then I caught them at the door and stopped them and sometimes fought with them and sometimes almost got tased and stuff. Anyway, by the time when my wife got pregnant with our first kid, we were like, well, how much is daycare going to cost or whatever, or childcare going to cost? And it was more money than I was making. But she was making more money than me, so it made more sense that I quit my job and just stayed home with the kid. So I did that, and that's when I started school. So I was already going to school already, which worked out. And then when I got out of school and I started streaming, I would watch Abby during the day when Jana was working. And then at night, she would take over for like a couple hours. Actually, I don't know. We kind of just tag teamed it when she'd get home usually. And then around 10 o'clock or so, they would both go to bed or both be in bed by 10 o'clock. And that's when I would start streaming. And I'd stream at like 10 p.m. until like 4 a.m. sometimes, usually like 4 a.m. And then I'd get off for the night, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, watch Abby all day. And that just became like a routine for me for a long time. And that's what sort of like kickstarted it, I guess. We finally got enough viewers to like make that work. And then yeah, what like really kind of took it off was like was YouTube. Probably I started making devlogs, and that's when it was like, I don't know what happened, but YouTube liked it and the algorithm took it and like carried my first devlog, and it had like 60,000 views, and I was like, oh my god. And then our Discord started growing. We had like 3,000 or 4,000 people in our Discord, and I was like, okay, this is getting pretty big. And that's when we kind of decided like we should do a Kickstarter for this. So we did a Kickstarter, and then that did even better and like blew up our channel even more. And we had tons of people in the live streams and tons of people in YouTube or on watching YouTube videos and in the Discord. And then launching the game was another huge spike. And then from there, unfortunately, everything is kind of like drifted off. And that tends to happen after you launch your game. Like people are excited about it, and then it's just sort of like not as exciting anymore because it's done, it's done and over with, and like time to move on. But because our game's in early access, we've been pushing for a long time, and we just kept, anyway. But yeah, I was not working, luckily, but I was watching a kid full time. So yeah, I feel your pain. And I was actually trying to do game dev for a lot of years when I was working. Before I started school and I was working loss prevention, I spent 8 hours a day pretty much just walking around Walmart, which got really, really old really fast. And so I could have headphones in when I did it. And so I would listen to podcasts, and I would listen to YouTube videos and stuff, and just, my phone would just be in my pocket. So I would just like listen to everything game dev I could like get my hands on. And so that's kind of how I stayed motivated and kept going while I was working. But not a lot of people have that option like I did, which sucks. So we need to flip these. Oh man. Do we though? Maybe it's fine. Do you think it's fine? Or should we have flipped these so it went the other way? Let's see how much better it looks, and then we will decide. What did you do? Fixed. I think it looks better. Just manually flip these ones. And then we'll duplicate. I did not rotate those enough, did I? Did I go too many? Yep. Okay. So now I grab this one, grab this one, grab this one. Pull all of our UVs over here. This is gonna be a problem. Sure. Where is this one? Over here. Okay, happy with that. Next. Oh my god, this is gonna be insane. We're gonna have so many variations. I mean, I know these are kind of lame, like just having like different colored wraps or whatever, but like whatever, right? We could even do more too. Like we could have like some of these longer ones that have like a metal ring or something in the center of them. Like there's so many like more options we could do. Like especially the super long one. I don't even know. I don't know if like we should even do this one. This was like meant to be like a spear or something, but should we just do swords? Like or should like because we have axe handles and stuff too. Kid woke up, gotta go. Good talking to you. See you another time. Yeah, see you later, Curly. Rapscallion, hi Michael, you have an Unreal Environment Design course in dev.tv. How did that go? I do, and I don't want to say I regret it, but I don't really love the outcome. No, you're good. I know what you meant. Funny story, actually. So Game Dev TV is I like them a lot. They're actually really cool. And I found them a long time ago and was interested in them, and then I kind of just didn't take any course or anything like that because I was already in school, I think 4 at the time, so I really didn't need to, and so I just didn't do anything. And then my friend Tim, who Tim Ruswick, who used to do a lot of live streaming and stuff, he's a game dev too, and then I think he just got a job with them. I don't know what he was doing exactly, and I still don't know exactly what he does, but he does a lot of work for them now, and it works for them like full time. And then I was like, hey, I should do a course for you guys. And he was like, yeah. And then so I was supposed to get in, do a course, and then I worked with this guy Rick, who's like, I don't know his job exactly, or his job title exactly, but anyway, I worked with Rick. And the idea was that him and I would actually do like a live course kind of thing, like a live teaching course thing, because we wanted to get something done fast and have time to like make the whole course and edit and everything. So we decided to do a UE5 thing because UE5 was brand new at the time. So we decided to just do like environment because that's kind of something I was good at. And so we just kind of like had like a basic outline of what we wanted to do, and I kind of just ran through on my own to figure out what we wanted to do. And then we jumped into a call together and just winged it, right? And I hated it because he kept asking me questions that I was not prepared to answer, because I was still really new to UE5. Everyone was, because it was brand new. And I was like, I don't know that answer. And he'd be like, okay, we'll just cut that out. So he ended up like editing a bunch of stuff out. And then what happened is I was working in UE5 with like full graphics and everything, and I don't have the best computer. I didn't at the time. I have a better computer now. And I was live streaming that to him on Discord. And I was recording my screen at the same time, and all of that ended up, and I checked it and it seemed fine when I first tested it. And then when we went and recorded the whole long thing for like, it was like a 6-hour session or whatever we did, it turned out that all of the recording was like basically unusable, just completely just garbage. It was like super chuggy. As soon as I like went back into the editor and started moving things around, it was just like 3 frames per second. I was like, yeah, this didn't work. And my computer was already like not working very well, but the recording was 10 times worse for some reason. And I couldn't figure out why, especially when I test played, it was like even worse. We were using Lumen and everything, because it was all brand new then. So it was still pretty like non-performant. Anyway, it didn't work very well. And then I was like, Rick, none of this is like usable. We can't do like any of this stuff. So I ended up having to redo the whole thing on my own because we couldn't be in a call with him. So I just winged it and did the whole thing on my own. And I'm just not happy with it. And there's a lot of complaints about that one course. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever redo it again either. I actually tried to do other courses for them, and it's just not my cup of tea. So yeah, but like working with them is awesome. They're very, very organized and very put together, and they know what they're doing. So if you're considering doing a course for them, definitely reach out and ask. I actually just had a friend who is an artist who was reaching out, but I don't know if anything came of that or not. But anyway, I personally don't like doing courses because it's a little too strict for me. I prefer like more free flowing stuff like this, and I kind of like doing my own thing. And I don't like video editing very much, and there was a lot of that you have to do. I don't know, it just wasn't quite for me, I guess, and I just wasn't as interested in it. And there's a lot of like restrictions on like how you can like things you have to say and the way you have to say them and stuff like that. And I don't know, it wasn't for me. But I have a lot of friends who have been doing it. I can't think of whatever. Anyway, I've met a handful of people who have done courses for them, and they really love it. So my experience has probably been the most negative, and it was actually a great experience. It's just it wasn't my style of like how I want to do things. So that's the only issue with it. But everyone else has had very positive things to say and never like had any issues at all. And I didn't have any issues. It just wasn't something I wanted to do. So anyway, it's pretty cool. I wrote a book for O'Reilly a while back. They asked me back to make online course stuff. It was a nightmare. Couldn't do it. That's cool. Writing a book is on my bucket list. I actually have a book that I started a little while ago that I was doing really good with, and I wrote like 3 or 4 chapters on, and then I haven't touched it in like months. The problem I'm running into is that I take too many breaks between writing, and then when I go back to writing, I want to read the whole thing again, and I'm a pretty slow reader. And so I will spend the whole night that I was going to plan on reading the book to get caught up, and then I'm all hyped and like excited about writing it, and then I don't have and then I can't write for like 3 or 4 more days. So it's a real like messy thing for me. I need to find a better solution, and maybe I'll do something like use GPT or something and just like post the book or whatever. Maybe I'll keep like a running project or something on GPT and just be like, can you remind me what I was working on? And then like do a better job of like outlining things and go from there. And then I can just jump right back in and start writing again rather than having to read it all. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Game Dev TV is awesome and I really like them, but it's just not for me. I don't think I'll be doing any courses for them again. But funny story is actually that my friend Tim, who is working there now, actually reached out and was like, do you know anyone who would be good at like project management stuff? And I was like, yes, I do. I have someone in mind who worked for like 15 years at Walmart as like a manager and managed like hundreds of employees, and then managed a game dev team of like 5 people and produced like and brought a game from like conception all the way up to launch, and managed an entire Discord community of 6,000 people and like a Kickstarter and all that stuff. So I was like, so yeah, this person is like really qualified to do what you want to do probably. And it happened to be Jana, so now she actually works for Game Dev TV. So yeah, I have a lot of ties to Game Dev TV, and I'm a big fan of them. So yeah, and I've actually been, there's a lot of like things for them that I feel like I would love to like help them with, but haven't really had a chance to like talk to them about it yet. I actually was like, so I actually want to do, I've been setting this up on the side, and it's almost ready to go, I think. I want to start doing like game dev related like consultation, or probably more primarily like mentorships through Ko-fi, coffee, whatever. I still don't know how to pronounce it. And I have it like almost all set up. And I was actually thinking, I actually was going to pitch this to them, but there was a lot of issues with it, which is why I ended up not doing it really. Where I wanted to do like the mentorships and stuff like through Game Dev TV and like see if they want to set that up, but there's a lot of red tape and stuff you have to worry about when you do that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm still thinking I'm gonna do the mentorship thing. Just waiting to pull the trigger on it because I have a lot of stuff on my plate right now. Anyway, God, I ramble so much. I think I'm gonna wait on this one. I don't think we're doing this one. Or should we? I don't know, man. It'd be like a spear. I don't know if I want to do like axe heads either. I think we'll just do swords. I can still do these like curved handles for like swords, I guess. I'm gonna slide this up to the side. I don't think we're gonna use it right now. We're gonna do this one though. I've decided. Okay, so we need to split both these apart. I'm gonna grab all these. I think we need to grab the centers and like pull them in a little bit though. What did I just miss? Rapsky, thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Can I ask why you're asking? Are you curious about doing courses or making courses or purchasing a course? I also have an affiliate link with them, but I have not set up the new one because apparently there was a change in them a while back, and I have not set up the new link yet. Center these pivots and delete this guy. I think we're gonna go like this. Maybe we'll do this one. Yeah, like that. don't love these like hard edges here, but like I don't know how to fix that. I guess like that. I guess that's how we fix it. Good enough. I'm being really picky. Okay. Merge. Oh. Merge that. Merge that. Save. I think I did one too many. Wait, what? Oh, it's right there. Oh, I just realized like how much of a difference those are. We should probably fix that. There we go. I have to tweak this one out too. Cool. Oops. Yeah, okay. We're getting faster at this, at least there's that. Okay, this is a lot of freaking handles. I see how many we have selected. I guess not. But it's a lot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15 variations of each one. So that's 45 already. And we're about to do 2 more. So we're going to have 60, no, 75. Yeah. 75 different handles. Let's see how many variations we have so far. Hang on, I have a thing name for this. Here it is. Only 4 blades, 1 hilt, 8 pommels, and 75 handles. We went from 192 combinations to 2,400 today. What about a metal handle? Yeah. I do think having some metal handles would be nice. Maybe we'll move these over and make some more variations even. Hey Sky, thanks so much for the sub. I'm just learning right now, and I remembered taking your course. It helped just a student from Game Dev TV taking as much courses as I can. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I should find my link. Oh, maybe I did update my link. I can't remember. Now that I'm like thinking about it, maybe I did update it. No, I don't think I did. But yeah, I like Game Dev TV a lot. It's pretty cool. It's a fantastic place to learn, so I highly recommend it. Even if you're not using my link. But I'm pretty sure I have a link. Wait, did I? Hold on. Did it? It's probably even posted up here earlier. Yeah, it's right here. Oh, this is gonna post both. There we go. I believe that's my affiliate link. I'm not positive that works anymore, but if you want to use it, you can. Anyway, moving on. Let's dang, 2,400 already. It's crazy. Okay, well, let's finish up these last 2 variations, I guess, and then we'll go from there. What am I doing? I think it's like 4 more. Should we go all the way down, or should we just have it like around the hilt? Or around the handle, right? Nah, we'll go all the way down. Like right here, there's some weirdness because these are scaled differently. They're gonna be scaled even more, but I just want to make sure they're not like uneven before we start scaling them. Okay, let's grab faces. First of all, like the whole thing basically needs to be scaled out a little bit in this direction. Oh, why is this so wobbly looking now? Hopefully this fixes it. I don't love this. Maybe we don't do the full wraps on the axe handles. I'm sure we can tweak it to make it look better, but like, I just don't like it. Some of these I just definitely moved too much. What do you guys think? Should we need it? Or do we need it? I was watching someone using procedural modeling in Blender a while ago. It is kind of impressive how fast you can create a massive AAA level scene in a very short amount of time. Yeah, the geometry nodes in Blender are absolutely insane. I don't know I don't know what to what extent they are usable, to be honest with you. I only saw a little bit of them when they first dropped, and they looked crazy then, so I can only imagine how much crazier they are now. What were they doing exactly, Sky? Can you give me a little more context, or do you have a link? I'm sure I can just go look up geometry nodes, you know, and find a whole bunch of stuff, but let's let's do this instead. Cool, I like that. Merge. Merge. Still pretty crazy. Go to UV. Thanks. I'm like definitely dragging it to that location. It's just not registering it fast enough. Okay, save. We have one more to do. It's Chinese. I found it again. This is pretty crazy. I mean, it's definitely sped up, but like... That's really impressive. Dude, that's nuts. I don't know if that's like I don't know. Everything I do, like all my art and everything, like pretty much everything I do is like all game dev focused, right? I'm not really like interested in doing like 3D renders. I'm not interested in like film or anything like that. So like if it's not super usable in like a game environment or whatever, then kind of whatever for me. But yeah, for concept art though, I usually just skip that part now. Yeah, same. Yeah. Sky, I think you're the one that's really against AI art, right? I was gonna ask if you've ever considered using like Midjourney or whatever to like try generating concept art for you. I have not. I've honestly not had very good luck with it. I've attempted a few times and just never really been a fan. I think it does okay with like character design sometimes. Like you can come up with some cool character designs and then kind of use it as like loose reference. But yeah, and honestly, I honestly find a lot more usable stuff just by going to Pinterest and just getting inspired and making something cool. You're an AI nerd. Okay, someone, I don't remember who it was in here that was like really against AI. So his idea is pretty nice to learn. Yeah, for sure. I honestly think that kind of stuff would work in game, in engine, for a game, in the game development like sphere. In fact, I actually think that the geometry nodes actually, you can import them somehow into Unreal Engine and get access to like all the sliders and stuff. I don't know about Unity, but I'm pretty sure that going from Blender to Unreal Engine, you can get access to like properties. I don't remember how, or I have no idea how, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that. So there's definitely some cool possibilities there. I use ChatGPT for some concept art, but it is more like playing with a toy. I usually had a vision in my mind already and just test how good those AIs are. Yeah, I actually think GPT's image generator is pretty bad unless you're trying to do like, it seems like Midjourney went more like, it's definitely more in the direction of like concept art, like artistic art, and just more I don't know how to explain it. It's way more like loose and like more artistic, and then GPT seems to be more like, I guess like corporate art and more like product design, right? Yeah, I'm almost positive that Unreal can integrate Blender geometry nodes. I'm like 99% sure you can. When I first saw them, I'm pretty sure they're making a staircase, and they made it with geometry nodes in Blender, and then they put it into Unreal Engine, and they could just modify the number and it would automatically add more stairs to the staircase. So it must be a plugin or something. But you know what? my brain could be mixing this, mixing that staircase example with Houdini, because I know I've seen that made in Houdini as well. So I could be wrong. It could have been Houdini, because I'm 100% positive you can do that with Houdini. AI is life. Yeah, I definitely like using AI as well, to a certain extent. I don't think I'd ever like just generate something with AI and just drop it in my game. That's definitely not something that I think is valuable. Still not entirely sure about this one or not. We're gonna wait on it. Let's grab. There's not a whole lot of motion movement in these ones. Let's just grab these ones anyway, though. I think we can just get away with, like, maybe not actually. These ones are probably fine. These ones though, I think we're just gonna grab this one. You know what? Hold on. Shouldn't mind. Let's just this time. I don't want him to mess them all. I don't want to mess them all up. So we're just gonna cheese it this time. Not cheese it. We're gonna do it the right way this time. I kind of want one more. Good enough. It's too much. We should just do this maybe. Okay, cool. Done. Cool. Okay, we're done. That's a lot of freaking handles. And I agree we should have some like metal ones. Oh, it just adds so many more though. And remember, I have to export all these too. I have to rename every single one when I export them. It's gonna take me for freaking ever. Big fan of that gradient color texture picker setup. Yeah, same. I just made it, I think Tuesday? No, or Thursday. I think we made it Thursday. Maybe we made it last Tuesday? I don't know. We just made it last week. I love it. I think it's great. Yeah, anyway, I think this is enough for now because I have to export every single one of these manually and I'm just not like excited to do that, but we'll get there. Let's go through and rename them right now. So let's just call this like okay, let's do this. I think we're gonna like grab all of these and like export them as like sword part underscore handle or something. I think we might just grab all of our sword parts, stick them all, like export them all as like one thing. So if we're gonna do that, we just call them all handle underscore short, and that's it. Oh, that just named it as a one, which means we already had that. Let's complete history on everything here. Why is this grouped? Why are these all grouped together? Okay, let's grab all of this stuff. All of these are grouped and I don't know why. I'm guessing... I don't know. How did I group them? I wonder if I did on accident. Okay, there's handle short. This is gonna be handle medium. This is gonna be handle curved. This is handle long, curved long. Let's call this pole arm, I guess. Though I don't think we're gonna do that one. It's just gonna. I don't think we're doing that right now. We'll see later though, because it could be kind of cool to have a long one. Dope, you can just UV offset each MTL instance for easy and cheap color variation. Exactly. Yeah, it's really, really handy and makes it so much faster to make and texture assets. And it's really like it's way more affordable too for in-engine because then you can just use one texture and one material for everything in your game. Well, I mean, you're probably gonna have a handful of things that you want like different materials for. Anything's like special or fancy, whatever. But yeah, like everything just works. And I even have an emissive everything. So we have like, these are just basic like stone, wood, foliage, snow, water, and extra, which is just like some random colors that I couldn't figure out where to put anywhere else. Though I could probably just add some more like stone or water colors or whatever in here, who knows. And then we have the basic colors, which all gradient from dark to light. And then we have this washed out one, which is just the same thing, they're just a little washed out. Which like they don't even look washed out in here, but they definitely look different in the engine. And I kind of think I might wash them out a little more, but anyway. And then we have shiny, and these ones are just like very like shiny plasticky looking. Maybe I should have called this plastic, I don't know. And then we have metal or metallic, which is dull, and then shiny versions. And then we have an emissive one, which is the fanciest one. These are all flat colors, but it's because the lower you are down here, the less emissive there is, and the higher you put it, the more emissive there is. So you can like blend it from the bottom to the top, and like it like creates a transition into emissive, which is really cool. And we should do that for some of the blades. It'd be really cool to have like a red blade that just like glows at the end. I kind of wish I had more variations that gave me like color, like blending between two different colors rather than just a gradient. But like there's only so much you can fit on a texture atlas like this, and so it's probably not worth the effort. Could map any mesh you want to runtime color change factions or something to black and white gradient, and then color tint it, tint in material. I don't think you can change. I don't think you can move your UVs though at runtime, but you could offset the texture at runtime. So if you knew exactly how big this texture is, which you can, because you can just, you know, divide it or whatever by this, whatever, then you could just like offset it, like shift it over or whatever. The problem is that these are a different width than these are, but still, you can make it work somehow, which would be cool. Honestly, I kind of wish that I had done, I don't know, maybe I should have given myself more space. Don't need to change UV in that case. Look up a material parameter collection and pass that into a mid on mesh. What? I don't know what that means. What is MID or mid? I offset the UV at runtime in a Unity project, but then I found they cannot be batched since it will be considered another material once you change the UV. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Doing this in Maya is a little more permanent. It's hard to change it in Unreal. And like in Unreal, you can easily just make like, you can just like texture everything to have like a basic like white color, right? Like white to like black or whatever. And then you just color overlay, and then you could just change the color to anything you can dream of. The problem with that, and the reason I'm not doing that here, is because one, I want variations of color, and I don't want every dev to have to like, I don't want like a billion like material instances, which is what we're doing in Swords of Magic, because like we just have a ton of like material instances that you can just have like every color you can think of, and that's cool, but it's way more expensive than doing this. And another reason why I don't want to do that is because I want to put this on itch.io, itch.io, whatever. And when it's on itch for as a game asset, you just import it into any engine you want. Unreal, Unity, it doesn't matter. And the problem with that is that if I don't give clear instructions on how to set that up, then a new dev might drop it into Unity and be like, how come all of the models in this pack are just white? Like every single one is just white. I don't understand. I can't even use this. This is garbage. And then they just don't use it, right? Whereas, but they'd rather just have something that's just plug and play. They just drop it in and it's all colored and done, like period. So, material instance. Oh, got it. I would have assumed that was DMI, dynamic material instance, but I guess I see where you're coming from. Yeah, as a color tint pass through a BPR controller. Yeah, of course. Yeah. We can. I do that all the time in Unreal Engine or with Swords Magic and other things. Yes, I totally understand that workflow, and I love that workflow, and I do it. I like for all of our creatures in Swords Magic, they are all set up with like black and white textures like that. because then I just change them with colors in games so we can have variations really easily. In fact, the idea originally was like, let's have like rare spawns of like every enemy, and then we'll just like we'll just swap out the material instance with a new color, and that would be great. But we didn't do that. And your use case makes perfect sense. Yeah, agreed. I think the way you are suggesting would be way more dynamic and give people way more control, and I totally agree. But it also does mean you have to create new instances for every single one, or do it with code. And while doing it with code with this, like if you were making like a modular like weapon, like blacksmithing game or whatever, doing it with code would make so much more sense, because then you could just let the player like use a slider or whatever to change the color of their things they wanted to do. Or use like, yeah, you could have like a bunch, you could have like a basic like, these are all the metal colors in my game, and these are all the wood colors in my game, whatever, and then players can just like choose from drop downs, whatever, to change their materials, and that'd be cool. But I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible. But people could easily go in and like make like they could go in and like modify that if they really wanted to. They could still use all my meshes and then just modify it and use code to do whatever. Yeah, I even considered like putting a plain white materials and a bunch of different material slots on every single thing in here as an alternate mesh that you could use if you wanted to like do that yourself, but I decided it wasn't worth it. But if someone reached out to me and asked me for like help doing that, I would definitely not deny that. I'd definitely be on board to helping them set that up, especially if there was a little bit of money involved. Anyway, okay, well there's 2,000 variations right there with those handles. Should we recolor all of our pommels next then? Uh-oh. How did all of these duplicates not end up in here? Okay, let's get all our pommels. I want to do a bunch of different blades, so we're gonna get around to doing that. I just made very different size variations for the first blade we had already, but we'll do more. And a bunch of different hilts too. Those are way more complicated than pommels and handles, which is why I did those first, because I was being lazy. Whoops. These are all snapped to fit that first handle, but I think we're gonna move them all up onto the, so we can export them easier. Nope, not like that. Oh yeah, we're renaming. I forgot we were renaming things. Okay. Let's go back to renaming things, I guess. Okay, so we have all of our base handles renamed. Now these are all gonna be, let's just rename each row individually, I guess. So this will be handle underscore wrapped underscore purple. So let's just copy this. Oh, this needs to be handle underscore, damn it, short, right? Where is it? Oh my god, who knows? It's somewhere in here. There's so many meshes in here. Oh, handle short, yeah. So it's handle short wrapped purple. Then we should have a purple and a purple one. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we should do underscore 0. Or just like 01, 02. Let's do that. Okay. And then we just paste this one. Brown 01. Green 01. gray 01. You could easily just use the gray one and like recolor that as well. It might be a little darker than you want, but blue 01. We didn't do an orange either. People are gonna be like, how come there's not an orange one? Whatever. Light red. Or how about faded red? Oh, one. There we go. Oops. Okay. There's those ones. These are all named now. Ideally, we can export all of these as one piece and import them into Unreal Engine. Oh man, you know what? I'm so dumb. We can't do that. We have to export every single one of these individually anyway. Or hold on. We could import them all into Unreal Engine and then export them all out in a batch export as FBX back into our folder to put on itch. That might be the way to do this. Probably be faster. Back from lurking. What's up, Lanny? How's it going? What are these? These are all handles. I think the colored part of those is slightly not clear, as in it makes it appear a bit not like a handle. That's okay. It'll make sense in context in a game you're working on. Especially, yeah, they'll be named correctly, and they will look correct when you see them with a sword handle, right? Or a blade or whatever on them on the end. They're just wrapped, and they're just versions or variations of them. Yeah, it's a cloth grip, not metal. Okay, I don't want to rename the rest of these right now. We don't actually, I don't know, maybe we can do that. Should we? I wonder if we should test it first to make sure it works. Like, just export the short ones before I go crazy naming all these. Let's move all of these off the center grid. And we can grab all of these guys. I kind of want to duplicate them, but I don't want the names to get messed up. So let's just save, and then we'll move them all to the center like that. Okay, and now we're gonna do export, environment, blacksmith, new folder, weapon parts. And in here, we're probably gonna do new folders. Let's call this we're gonna have to do this whole thing. Actually, hold on. Let's not do this. Let's just call this nothing. I don't want this folder. I can't delete it now. I can't even rename it now. Yeah, I can. Let's call this blades, I guess. Whatever. We're gonna need a folder for that. But for now, we're just gonna call this weapon part. Or how about we're gonna call this SM underscore weapon parts. Just gonna make the swords. It's like we're gonna do like daggers, great swords, and swords. It's just but they're all kind of swords. Let's just call it whatever. Weapon parts is fine. Okay, save that. I'm going to make a new folder in here. test folder for this because I'm gonna have to do this again. Weapon parts. Okay, if I open this, I did save it as an FBX, right? Yeah, okay, good. Pretty sure it has to be an FBX for this. Okay, import all. Perfect. They all came in as separate individual meshes, named correctly. This one's weapon parts handle. Maybe I should just call them part. Nah, it's fine. Weapon parts. Oh, we should just call them weapon part. Okay, we're learning for the full time when we do this. Version 1, and then there's a version, or version 1, version 2. Yes. Love it. Awesome. Perfect. They're already all materials and everything are all set up already. It's so good. Okay, that worked perfectly. And then we should be able to just grab all of these and do like a batch export, bulk export. We're gonna do okay, and then export all. I don't know why I've had this open. Okay, I think that worked. Cool. So now, yeah, all right. So we can import them all in one cluster. So we'll just grab, when we're ready for this, we'll grab all of our weapon parts. They'll all be properly named. We'll export them all in one giant group in the center of the Maya file. Every single one of them, which is going to be a nightmare, into an SM_weapon part. And then that'll automatically rename and import every single one of them into Unreal, which will be like 150 meshes probably. And then we can bulk export all of them into individual FBX files into our test folder here. And that means that we can then just drag all those individual ones into a zip file and throw them up on itch, and they're ready to go. All set with proper UVs, proper naming, everything. That makes that so much easier to do. Like crazy easy to do. Awesome. Extremely happy about that. Cool. So now, this can all just stay here for now because I'm gonna re-import these, I guess, or we'll just delete them all. Cool. All right. I'm gonna go get lunch. It's 1:30. How many hooligans do we have hanging out in here? 16 of you guys? We're not raiding anybody. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. And I will see you on Thursday. Stream ending. There's a button. Yep. See you guys Thursday. Bye.